Okay, day 81, still no Eric Braverman. I've talked in the past how this military technology, the stingers, sarin gas, and so forth, is a danger of coming back into the United States because of the tracking of these kind of weapons taking down planes or could be used against populations, subways, etc. But also today I wanted to talk about like surveillance technologies, how the thesis of this whole series is that the folks that are using this military technology, whether it be zero footprint for tanks that can fly in on helicopters to take over Libya, or Stinger missiles, or sarin gas to take over villages in Iraq and Syria, the moral compass of those people has not caught up with their technological capabilities. And as the CIA, the Department of Defense, CIA technology starts being used, comes back from overseas and starts being used against innocents like Braverman and Brown, that's what I'd want to talk about today, is how every time we develop some kind of warfare, whether it's satellite reconnaissance or the ability to, with the gas or the advanced weapons, it kind of has this blowback effect on the U.S. With the Stingers coming to Chicago with Sinaloa enforcers, or whether it be sarin gas on the border, or the surveillance technology from the Denver group, from the CIA headquarters in Denver there with NORAD. So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about today. And I saw the movie last night, Snowden. I'd read the book and obviously kept up with a lot of I think I really got in trouble with the FBI when I made a big thing about Snowden when he first came out. I was already in trouble with JTTF, but Snowden didn't help. That was when I did get visited with the FBI, with the guys in the black Suburban and all that, when I wasn't at my house. But I think you'll find anybody who's ever been active in being critical of the FBI has had that happen to them. And then, as a matter of fact, in the movie Snowden last night, they mentioned Bill Binney and they mentioned Thomas Drake and Kurt Wiebe, who all were also attacked for basically being patriots. But anyway, in the movie last night, they talk about Petrofac, and they talk about getting the first thing that Snowden does, his first assignment as a CIA guy, is getting a Petrofac guy from Pakistan drunk and taking him to a sex parlor shop, so forth. So it's and they keep saying Snowden's Snow White, because he doesn't agree with that kind of morality. So it's a good movie to see because it takes the whole bulk surveillance and really makes it simple in one movie. And maybe all this will be a movie someday too. Who knows? But I just thought it was interesting. And the other thing is, yesterday in the here I'll go for some more advanced stuff. So about bulk collection, and I'm going to be, I guess, the Snowden because nobody else will be, for these biosensors. These are like quantum dots. So what happens is that you spray these over a battlefield or over a village or whatever, and they're invisible. They cling to the cars, houses, clothing, etc. And then you can hit them with different types of light, and they'll light up to a satellite. So for remote reconnaissance. So this is the kind of thing that I believe that they use with Braverman. I think it's in use today. I know that sounds very Star Warsy, but I believe that tag ants, or tag ants as they call them, or tags, they've been around a long time. This is from the Navy research lab 3-4 years ago, but tag ants have been around since the first Gulf War. So again, this is the technology that's kind of coming back, blowback on the citizens of the U.S., and they're working on, it's called continuous tagging, tracking, and locating. There's even a 4-letter acronym for it, and the technology keeps getting smaller. The difference here is these are passive devices that don't have power. These are actually devices that are computers that have power, so you can put them, in somebody's tennis shoe, or you can put them, they're going to get down to the point where they call them smart dust, where they're actually put on railroad tracks so you can see if a train goes by and so forth. If you go to the links below if you want to kind of look into the Orwellian world developments, but this is the kind of thing where we're talking about that continuous surveillance technologies, but who are the people running and using this continuous surveillance powers? What's their moral character? I wanted to get this out before Rex Tillerson testified today, but he testified yesterday, and somebody asked him about Dynacorp. Dynacorp just won a big $11 billion contract. It's their oldest contract for maintaining kind of all the Air Force stuff all around the world. But they said, "Do you support Dynacorp?" And they said, "Yes." It's like no debate whatsoever. And Tillerson is kind of known as obviously Exxon CEO, but he's also made use of a lot of these private armies like that General Grange and so forth. So, but no questioning on that. And Marco Rubio is still pushing the falsehood that the white helmets in Syria are heroes, and that sarin gas was used by Syria, which has been proven by the UN and English and British intelligence to be false. But anyway, getting back to who owns it, Steve Feinberg. This is Trump's top economic advisor, and he's with Cerebus Capital. Who owns Cerebus Capital? George Soros. He's very secretive. He's told his employees if they ever show their picture or their apartment, they'll be killed, not just jailed, because obviously it's a kind of a lot of spies in the organization with Dynacorp. And he's got this Egyptian mansion. It just sounds very weird. And you start adding this kind of a company getting outsourced to run surveillance on people. There's a profit motive for surveilling as many people as possible. And then all these different drones technologies, unmanned helicopters, this Boeing thing. They call it Eye of Sauron. It's a Greek. I go back to the Greeks a lot, looking out at everything all the time. And I just get so many. I want to do a shout out to Diane Barton on all of her research on Dynacorp. I mean, it's just citation after citation after citation of sexual misconduct, using boys, having these Dynacorp's doing this police training and then using these boys and letting these police officers rape these boys, pillaring them to a post and, watching these rapes. And it's common practice. It's not like an isolated event. You'll look down below in the citations. It's not just girls, it's boys as well. And again, Kathy Bolkovac here, there's some more citations about that. So what I'm saying here is all these advanced technologies, but what's the moral compass of the people, controlling the technology? Here in Haiti, this isn't going to go away. I think the senators, with Rubio taking $35,000 from Dynacorp, by the way, I would like him to recuse that gift today, knowing what I know about Dynacorp and all their things. This isn't going away. I'm not going to drop this case. The power of this open research is truth. It's not. There's no amount of PR that you're going to be able to hire that's going to remove the truth about Dynacorp. It's not going to go away. I don't care if it's Trump or if it's Hillary. This is not going away. How Carlos Slim, his older brother, used Mexico as a case study for DHS. They call it DFS down there. How they used all these technologies I'm talking about to suppress the people, turn them into using micro loan sharking is the gateway crime. It takes people who are down on their luck for a little bit of time, and then it forces them into debt, and then they get into this debt cycle, and then they have to go into prostitution. That's when they have to do the drugs. That's when they have to sell their kids or let their kids go. And it's just this. This is again the moral compass question. This was the actual system, the precursor to our DHS, which was trialed in Mexico and then exported to every country in South America and Latin America and the Caribbean. So it's this project of exposing this truth is not going away. I guess that's the power of it. And who in Congress will step up like Cynthia McKinney and say, hey, we're going to call these guys in on the carpet. We're not going to, if they're doing all this sex trafficking, we're going to pull your government contracts. This is not okay. Where's the 6.7 trillion? So this is what Trump ran on, is to drain the swamp. This has to be done. So, oops, I went the wrong way. Pardon me. So I call this the we-they mentality. It's like, oh, we're the permanent government, and all the plebes out there are the underlings that we can use and abuse. Like, women are just a resource for operations. This woman was raped thousands of times, many, many, many gang rapes. You have people dying over here as well, not just Monica Peterson, but also other women have died in this program as well. And I haven't had a chance with the time to research all the different people that may have died. But you don't just get to use, bait. This isn't fishing, and we're not just hooking bait here for your little sexual entrapment chicanery. This is an attack on the population with asset forfeiture. So it's, again, moral compass. This JTTF is taking, as I said before, is infiltrating into law enforcement and other federal agencies, state and local. And it also was used to infiltrate the FBI. Counterterrorism Division was used to infiltrate the FBI. So this, again, is the malignant cancer that just doesn't get better. The tumor gets bigger than the face kind of thing. I know I beat up McCabe here, but he really deserves it. I mean, he's the one sitting on these emails. 300 emails isn't going to do it. You have to show good faith and that you're doing an investigation. And you don't quietly in the middle of the night on Sunday night release 300 emails when there's 650,000 that the public is waiting to see. The public wants to drain the swamp. They want to see the 18 Gmail accounts. They want to know what happened. It's not a Trump thing. It's not a Hillary thing. It's a sunshine, cleanliness, disinfectant thing. We have to go to Haiti and find out where they're keeping the girls. They're keeping the girls in Haiti. That's where the warehouse is. So this piece here he almost became the National Security Advisor for Counterterrorism. I mean, you talk about moral compass. I mean, this is, and look who he's in partnership with, Mr. Brownstone Operations, Blackmail Sex, and Mr. Sarin Gas. So we're completely skewed with the technology versus the people making the decisions and application of the technology, I guess is what I'm going to say. He specializes in small tanks that fit inside helicopters that can be brought in. And so you never knew that there was an invasion, and firing chemical rounds in front of the gang of your choice, the ISIS of your choice. So anyway, follow the money, with all this stuff. You're going to find all those technologies, those surveillance technologies that I talked about, are also going to be in this Juicer Enterprises, the drone companies, the companies making the taggants, the companies making the NORAD, they call it Eye of God, to be able to look at everybody at once and make drone decisions on them or whatnot. But all that technology is coming back, and you're going to find all these NATO generals. Lockheed is going to be the key player again, involved in all this. So I think I'm running a little bit late, so I'm going to just leave it here. Somebody said that Jeffrey Epstein got a new pilot, and the old gal who was recruiting all the young kids to go out to the island is kind of out of Giselle. I can't remember her last name, but she was bought by, this young girl was bought. I think it was age 12 from her parents. I think it was Russian parents, or one of those Eastern European countries. And if you read the descriptions of what this is the raunchiest part of this operation. It's really disgusting to read. And now she's his pilot. She's been kind of used now sexually for however many years, and now she's been turned into a pilot. So it really kind of has this kind of grotesque life cycle now, where these women are being, just entwined in this villainy. So anyway, I'm going to stop there. But if you, I just one last thing, and I know these are running long, but good people. This police chief is just trying to do the right thing. He's just trying to say this child exploitation needs to be exposed. I don't want to see. I know people want to put everybody away for a long time, but I just want to expose it just so no one ever does it again. But if you let everybody get away with it, you're only asking for more. You're asking for more dying corpse. You're asking for more Clinton foundations. And Preet, you got to do your job. You got to do your job. Stop worrying about Time Magazine. Okay, that's it for this morning.